Welcome to DojoTalk episode 2. A good friend of mine, his name is Peng. He's an ACE certified trainer and he's been into this fitness industry for 2 years.
Hey all listeners of Dojo Talk, I'm Peng and I've been a personal and group fitness trainer for about the last 2 years. My clientele are predominantly the general population, so think of your usual sedentary working class individuals with a goal of losing weight or fat for aesthetic purposes or gaining muscle strength and endurance for marathons or other varying sports.
Today we're going to talk about how strength training or basically any type of resistance training, they can impact your body positively. What I'm trying to say is because nowadays in our society, especially in Malaysia and older generation, whenever we talk about fat loss, they will think of things like cardio. Whenever we talk about fat loss, they imagine all those. They will say things like treadmills, go for jogging, cycling. Whenever we talk about weightlifting or lifting, they start to think of building muscles. I don't want to build muscles. They thought of bodybuilding. They thought of
Well, I'm definitely a firm believer of applying both resistance-based training and cardiovascular for my clients. Those who engage with me more often than not share their past exercise history, and they often revolve purely on cardio-based movement. So rather similar with the conundrum that you've mentioned earlier, where the solution for fat loss to the general population is generally just cardio and nothing else.
Yeah.
They thought with just spending hours on the treadmill and sweating a lot or feeling like they've worked out by just judging the amount of sweat that they've produced within a session as mileage in terms of how much they've burned their fat or they've achieved some sort of weight loss through that state. They usually have little to no experience when it comes to resistance-based movements. And here's where I would usually step in to educate them a little bit more about the benefits of resistance training. And if they do engage with me, I do program them in such a way that it will emphasize on resistance movements with a little bit of cardio to wrap up their whole programming. It's never whether you should pick one or the other, but you can utilize both according to what you have in mind or whatever goal that you intend to achieve.
From your experience, do you have any clients that his or her goal is just to do cardio? I mean, all those people that just want to tone body by doing cardio. What do you do to them usually? Like, how do you program them or how do you educate them?
It's funny that you've mentioned, because I've recalled quite vividly that I believe my third client that approached me specifically mentioned that she does not want to build muscles and that she wants to have a toned body. Yeah, she has also mentioned that her past exercise history involves 4 cardio sessions per week, and she controls her diet quite rigidly. The purpose of her engaging with me was because through a friend's recommendation, she wanted a professional to help her assist towards her goal, which was to join. So for this particular client, her intention was to join a marathon. But she does have another goal in mind, which was to have what we call a beach-ready body. So she wanted a really toned abs and also a really toned figure in general. So I guess the first few things that I've clarified with her was that her definition of toning muscle, as in accordance to ACE, is that toning muscles is a definition of hypertrophy itself, which by definition means building muscles. You have to build muscles to attain that toned structures that everyone so desires. So upon hearing this, she was quite shocked at first. She was a little hesitant, and then I further clarified myself by saying that there are benefits when it comes to resistance-based movements and also cardiovascular. And when she approached me, her intention was to have a toned body. I said, well, if you believe in the process that I'm administering, perhaps let me dictate or let me show the programming to you and guide you through it from phase 1 until her end goal itself. And she did attain her goal, and of course she was very happy with the results.
Nowadays we can see some coaches that applies cardio training, like a lot of cardio training, just to achieve the most amount of weight loss.
Yeah.
So they hire those coaches to do hours and hours of cardio. I think most of the coaches like really stress them on the cardio training compared to resistance. But then it works. It still works. They lose a lot of weight, but we actually don't know whether it's fat or muscles. Could be both.
Well, it's definitely very interesting that you mentioned, because extensive hours of cardio will definitely yield you the fastest weight loss. And as you've accurately mentioned earlier, we do not know the nature of what weight was lost. Was it purely fat, muscle, or is it a combination of both?
And water as well. Wow.
Yeah, definitely water as well. I like to think that that method is very unsustainable, because as sports science itself does show that resistance movement does have the most benefit when it comes to muscle retaining, and also increases your fat loss over a period of time. Indeed, your weight loss will not be as significant as an extended cardiovascular training. But on the grand scheme of things, if our goal is purely dictated by how or by what number that our weighing machine shows, then perhaps we've definitely got the whole concept of fitness wrong.
Yeah.
The whole concept where health is dictated by what figure that your weighing scale shows you. By all means, it is a scale. It tells you your current weight. It can be an estimation of your fitness level, but it is never the true definition of whether you are healthy or otherwise.
Yeah.
There are more than one scale that we can definitely use. For example, your fat percentage. That is one scale. Is it a true scale? No. Your total body mass, lean body mass versus fat mass. Is it a true scale? Not quite, but is it a scale? Yes, it is. Similar with weighing scale itself, like it just shows data that we can use to further program or further use to program ourselves or our clients to improve their health over a period of time. But I am a firm believer that there is no one scale that truly tells you whether, hey Faris, you're healthy and fit because your weight currently shows 75 kilograms. I don't subscribe to that.
It's not always about how much weight you lost, but that's what I see. I mean, people nowadays, a good coach is based on how much they can make their clients lose weight, like the fastest. Let's say, oh, this guy have a coach that can make him lose 20 kg in 1 month. And then people say, wow, that's a good coach. They don't really care about health. They care about the weight that they lost. Because nowadays people want shortcut.
I guess I'll correct you here. It's not that now people want shortcuts. People have always wanted shortcuts. The difference is that because how our minds are attuned to and the amount of media that we're consuming, it is easier to gain traction by saying that my clients have lost 30 kilos. My clients have lost 20 kilos. It's catching.
Yeah.
It's good marketing. It's definitely good propaganda. And unfortunately, in the world of fitness itself, you gain fame by gaining such traction.
Yeah, true.
If you run a fitness program that allows your your consumers to lose an exorbitant amount of weight in a short period of time, you will gain followers. You will have people who will believe in you religiously because you've achieved an insane number. It's literally a game of chasing numbers then.
Yeah.
By all means, I'm in no position to judge whether it's a good practice or otherwise.
Mhm.
My task as a personal trainer is merely to educate each and every of my clients who have engaged with me about the importance of both resistance and cardiovascular movements, and in general, a common sense of training, a rationality of some sort that ultimately will allow them to be a lot more consistent with their progress and be a lot more consistent with the amount of work that they do. I was definitely very fortunate because back in uni, I had a friend who he's the guy that goes to the gym like 4 to 5 times a week. He's not a qualified personal trainer, but he does have quite an extensive set of knowledge and skills when it comes to programming and also training. And I was quite overweight myself. And when I approached his friend as well, and then we chatted a little bit, and he said, definitely do not rush into doing an insane hours of cardio. And I remembered him asking me very clearly, like he asked, is there any sports that you like playing? And then I said, oh, I play quite a fair bit of basketball. Then he said, all right, you should continue that because that's a pretty good form of sport that can train your cardio. That can be your cardio training as well. And he asked me to incorporate a little bit more strength-based trainings in the gym. And I've started my own workouts. And of course, there was a period of time of me applying whatever I could consume on YouTube. Yes, I do admit that there are times when I do spend just a pure 1 hour on a treadmill in the gym. And then I thought, okay, that's a good workout session. That's all right, let's call it a day. And whenever I train with that said friend, he's always pushed me for more resistance training, and that has always been my training methodology since then. Of course, now with a little bit more knowledge, I guess.
I think almost all of us start our fitness journey like that. Extensive hours of cardio, and then slowly we learn a lot. I do think that social media is a good platform to educate us and all the people who wants to start their fitness journey on resistance training.